digitally recording paperwork, I think, until 06 or 07. So I don't know if it's the same in Atlanta and they just don't have his cases, but none of his criminal cases were available when I ran his name.
So a lot of people feel like, what makes you qualified to be exposing?
What makes anybody qualified?
For sure. For sure.
Like, I didn't know, like, what do we got to go through an application and get the street approval? Like, who decides that? The motherfucker that knows how to Google and get the paperwork is the one that's qualified to speak on it.
Hey, yo, 1090, sir, what happened with that nigga you ratted on? What was the end result of that?
They ain't right on nobody.
Come on, bro. What
Fuck
talking
you
about for real?
about?
Nah, for real. Like, let's talk about
Nah, for real. What are you talking about?
That's whack.
The ratting, bro.
What ratting?
So now you gonna act like you don't know?
Nah, I'm just saying
blog
you
on
acting
everybody
like you know. You acting like you know because
You don't know what's
mentioned it
going
on
on?
Instagram. I told you to make the
Shut
call because they made a
blood
call
out your
and
mouth.
said
Let's
that
talk
that
about
paper
your
ain't even
ratting.
exist.
I want to talk about your ratting. I want to talk about.
So what?
Because I see you as a modern day Klansman that's trying to tear down black people. Our business ain't your business. But let's talk about it.
Saying
Let's
you be doing the
show.
same
Like, shut the up. Shut the
you talking about.
boy now. You the boy. It's been reversed. So I'm gonna ask you about. We gonna talk about everything. Your ratting come first. So let's talk about clear up your ratting. Can we talk about your ratting? Yes or no?
So where the paperwork?
Your allegations of ratting.
Where the paperwork?
Are we gonna talk about your ratting?
Where the
If we can talk about your motherfucking ratting, you little. Don't come in here and talk about no black man on no platform. You little.
Like
take your mother over there. Take your over there to the Ed Sullivan show. Shut your.
homeboy ratting.
Sit down while I'm talking to you. You little. Now let's talk about your ratting. Listen, you content. Welcome to Clubhouse. You don't run nothing over here. Sit down and shut the up. Welcome to Hip Hop Trends, where we check these type of mother exclusive when mother Rockstar 2800 a power root bang the phone and keep blood out your mouth. Rockstar, east side, west up. I'm out.
Could do anything to go viral, cuz dead homies. He was supposed to stay in here. He see I'm in here on the dead homie. I was just sitting back, letting Jake get his thing off, cuz.
No, I mean that was the perfect contradiction though, right? Because he talking about tearing down the black community. Boosie just did an interview speaking on snitches with Vlad TV, and he said when somebody snitch, they don't take
Wack100 thing
is a little bit different when you come from a community and you know more about the way that it moves. So it's kind of hard to tear down something that you know versus something that you're just trying to figure out, and then you're just exposing it without even knowing the background.
Well, what community do I come from?
You're not from a black community.
Not my stepmother black. I got 2 black brothers.
Rockstar, check your back channel.
I'm black. My daughter's mixed.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Now, 1090 Jake and Wack100. It's weird. This was something that like I kind of felt like was kind of gonna happen for a while, but then it kind of never did happen. And then I'm not. So now hearing this audio, I'm not surprised. Okay, so if you guys are trying to figure out what is going on, basically, 1090 Jake just dropped a video documenting the Snitch Chronicles where he exposed QCP for snitching on a man about 10 years ago. And on top of just regular snitching, what he also did was he on top of that was giving the police extra information over the past like 5-6 months, so the police could ensure that they're arresting the right guy. So he really wanted this guy locked up. Now a lot of people were like, yo, why does it matter? P is in the streets, but then P also kind of claims he's in the streets to the extent to where he says he's made $1 million when he said he's made $1 million in the streets before he's made $1 million in rap, to where he said, oh, you know, don't play with him, this and that. So he kind of gives off the vibe that he's somebody in the streets, but then he also says that he's not in the streets. And then he dropped the entire paragraph yesterday saying, yo, this is stupid. Rap culture is dumb. Our culture cares about this too much. And it was hypocritical, because how can you talk about our culture being the one that's negative and the one that's basically airing you off for snitching when you run a label full of rappers that adhere to a certain code, and they're part of the reason why snitching is as disdained for as it is now. Obviously, it's been going back decades of that, but there's still a part of blame that you have to have when you are managing the biggest rappers and discovering and signing these rappers, and they are street rappers adhering to the street code, promoting the street code, but now all of a sudden when it's against you, you have problems with it. But 1090 Jake dropped that video, and it kind of did rumblings because with him thing that he mentioned, he said, yo, a lot of people already knew he was a snitch. They just didn't care. One of those people seems to be Wack100. Now, Wack100's friends with QCP, at least from what everyone says, including him, they're pretty good friends. Now, he hopped into that call, and I don't even know what gibberish that was that you guys just heard. What it seems like happened is that it's weird. The whole 1090 Jake being a like culture vulture thing is very strange to me because I can see at times to where you could say, oh, well, he is a culture vulture. But at the same exact time, him exposing people for snitching is the same exact thing that Wack100 has done. We've had Wack100 go on to do paperwork parties. That's where it kind of confuses me to a huge degree because it'd be different, I guess, if Wack100 never did any sort of like snitching or caring about snitching. But one of the main things he did was he does paperwork parties, and then he kind of picks and chooses which snitches he's okay with. Sometimes he's okay with 6ix9ine, then other times he hates, another snitch that he is. So it's like it's back and forth. And one thing that he was trying to say was 1090 Jake snitching, and that's like a convoluted rabbit hole that I don't really want to get into, just because it's like it's apparently like somebody broke 1090 Jake Aunt's windows, and he made a statement, and according to him, he said that he was the one who broke in the window, and he just gave a random statement. He just said 2 Hispanic men or something, but people are still saying that's snitching. I don't know. I'm not in the streets. I don't care. That's up to y'all to figure it out. But I don't know. My opinion is will still stand until we as a culture start to not value these things that everyone else is. Then, like, of course, like, I don't really get surprised when we see people like 1090 Jake exist, because look what we value in our culture so heavily. If you know what I mean? Like, look what we value in our culture. We value a lot of the BS, a lot of our music, and isn't the fact just because he's white doesn't mean what he's saying is wrong. Don't get mad at 1090 Jake because your buddy snitched and you're a street rapper and you have to adhere to a certain code, or like that's not my fault. It's not 1090 Jake's fault. But what do you guys think about this? I need you guys to let me know. Do you guys think that 1090 Jake is a culture vulture? He's coming into our culture and tearing down our black man. I need you guys to let me know. Let me get like, comment, subscribe. I upload every day. It's your boy. Peace.